This is a little song to say hello. Hi. Hi. Hi, 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 hi.
Hello, welcome to Drinkin Beer. I'm your host, John Plunkett, and today is going to be a little different than my standard fare of episodes, as I'm going to be doing an IPA showdown.
Today's showdown is focused on IPAs, otherwise known as India Pale Ale.
All four of these beers I've had before, so it wouldn't really be fair to sample them on camera already knowing what they taste like. One in particular, I drink a lot. I mean, I'm always buying it. I've actually demanded a local liquor store to start stocking it again after they stopped stocking it for a while, just because I drink it so much. That's actually going to be the first beer I'm going to be sampling for you, and that is Goose Island India Pale Ale.
Goose Island India Pale Ale is a product of the Goose Island Beer Company out of Chicago, Illinois. It has a 5.9 ABV rating, as well as an IBU rating of 55.
So it's time to see what we got as far as appearance, smell, and taste. I'm going to go through the whole thing. Why not? Just going to pour a little bit. Doesn't seem like a little bit. That's what a Goose Island IPA looks like in a glass. Kind of translucent. Looks darker in the video than it actually is, but it's a pale orange. Let's give it a whack. It's good, but it's not as good as some of the other IPAs I've had. It's just easy. It's easy to drink. To me, this is like my Budweiser or my Coors Light or whatever the standard fare beer is for most people. This is Goose Island IPA is that for me. So next up on the list is Big Sky IPA from the Big Sky Brewing Company.
Big Sky India Pale Ale is a product of the Big Sky Brewing Company out of Missoula, Montana. It has a 6.2 ABV rating, as well as an IBU rating of 65.
If you're not familiar with Big Sky, I'd be interested to know, because I'm pretty sure you can get this most anywhere, but who knows. Here comes the pour on this. Oh. Now, as you can see, that's a darker color than the Goose Island. It's also a little less translucent than the Goose Island, which is always a good thing. Means there's a little bit more maltiness going on, a little bit more stiff. I haven't had Big Sky in a while, so here we go. Yeah. Definitely more heavy mouthfeel, more caramely malts. You get that more than you get any citrus. So it's like I was saying, on the scale of things, this is more toward the rye IPA variety. Not that it's a rye IPA, but it's more malty, less citrusy, less acidic, massive bitterness, but overall leaning to the heavier side of your IPA. Next up is Ranger IPA.
Ranger IPA is a product of the New Belgium Brewing Company out of Fort Collins, Colorado. It has a 6.5 ABV rating, as well as an IBU rating of 70. I'm not going to say I don't care for it. I think it's kind of got a weird taste, but let's see how it fares against the other IPAs I've tried. In direct comparison. Whoa, a little bit more than I wanted. Now, as you can see, this kind of goes back to the original, or back to the Goose Island look, where it's more translucent, kind of pale orange. Now that smell, I don't know what it is that New Belgium adds to this, but it's got a very particular smell. A very particular smell. I think out of a taste test, I could pick this out with no problem, just because of the taste and smell of this beer. If I had to describe it, it'd be like old person's home. Don't ask me. But anyway, here we go. Compared against the other two. See, it's got that. It's almost piney.
not piney. It's more nutty. It's more stank. It's more backwoodsy stank. That to me is Ranger in a nutshell. It's the Stank IPA. And last but not least, we have Schlafly Dry Hopped APA.
Chalali Dry Hopped APA is a product of the St. Louis Brewing Company out of St. Louis, Missouri. It has a 5.9% ABV rating as well as an IBU rating of 50.
I know I've always had a lot to say about Schlafly Pumpkin Ale, but when it comes to their other beers, I don't know why, I just don't buy them. I think the reason why I don't buy more Schlafly, and I'm condemning most local liquor places for this, they refuse to put Schlafly in the cooler. And that just ticks me off because it deserves to be in the cooler, but they refuse to put it in there. So it's much easier to walk out with a Goose Island or a New Belgium Ranger when you want an IPA, because they always put those in the cooler. When it comes to Schlafly, they don't. But now I'm just talking too much. Let's get this in the glass. And if you notice that there's a pretty good theme going with most of these IPAs, they have that same kind of golden pale orange color. This variety looks a lot murkier. It's got a lot more going on inside. So here we go. Wow. I kind of regret getting this now. This really tastes more like just a regular pale ale. The bitterness really isn't on par with any of the other IPAs I've had. But it's good. I mean, it's definitely got like a sweeter tinge to it. Sweeter and maltier, a little bit maltier. Not as malty as the Big Sky IPA, but very pleasing to drink, I would say. But yet again, it's not really a traditional IPA, so I kind of feel bad putting in a lineup with these. I wanted to bring in four new beers to you, but beers that I've drank before. And I'm going to cut all that out, but yeah. This episode was brought to you by Petapaws. Let me tell you something about Petapaws. If you can successfully get your dog to actually stand still and not pull his paw back every time you get near it with this fucking humming, rotating thing. I mean, it's bad enough that it's going to be grinding down their paw, but when it makes this sound... I got a lavalier mic on. When it makes this sound, no animal on the planet is going to let you get this near them. Unless they're like drugged up or docile as hell, I don't know. I bet it takes, what, C batteries? Yeah. One C battery. 2. Oh, it only takes 2 C batteries, so that's not too bad, but that means you still have to go to the store and buy stupid ass C batteries. So, I'm saying it right now. Petapaws, biggest waste of money ever. That's my story on Petapaws.